Alright, Cozy. Quick hair check. She's growing in on the sides.
Still terrible.
Looks great. Yeah, true that. It's like when I do it in the mirror, it looks grand, and I put on the camera, I look like a fucking idiot.
I actually think you can kind of pull it off. If it was something I did, I think it'd be disgraceful looking. So.
Yeah, sure. What about that comment? What did that comment say on YouTube, Cozy? You're still
gorgeous.
Something, but you're still hot or something. It's not fair. From some guy called like Donald or something. So, good man, Donald.
There you go.
Sound for the love.
Big fan for you.
What jersey are we rocking today, Cozy? Fucking Tanzania.
Tanzania lad. There, bought for a fiver off. That's one of the boys.
Off of Tanzania.
Yeah, that's it. I've Tanzania blood in me, believe it or not.
Some sporty outfit today, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I'm rocking the logos, aren't I?
Yeah.
But do you notice when you're in lockdown though, not whatever you want to call it, you basically just, I don't know about you, but I just recycling the same clothes over and over, and you 3 or 4
I'm actually wearing jeans today for the first time because I had to wash the pair of trousers, the pair of fucking what you call them, cottons, tracksuit pants that I've been wearing for the last 2 weeks, and I don't have another pair, so I'm not like you, about 400 pairs of Mead trousers. So I stuck on the jeans. It fucking feels a bit mad.
I don't think I've worn jeans, I'd say, in 3 or 4 weeks. It's mad. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So sure, you can tell us the title of or the topic of today's discussion.
Yeah.
Even though it's going to be in the title, so they already know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we did the video on best pub in Dublin, and we went through that. But then there's also some pubs that maybe aren't in the conversation that should be sort of up there. Maybe not there around the best pubs in Dublin, but that are never really mentioned and that we really liked, we really enjoyed. So what we said is, and we don't know what each other are going to say here, but we said we'd maybe talk about 3 pubs that we think are underrated for the pubs themselves, and 3 pubs that are underrated for the pint as well. Now obviously there's going to be some overlap there as well, but that's what we said we'd talk about.
Yeah, I like the way you summed it up, as in it's pubs that may or may not be always in the conversation, but they're pubs that we found when we went really liked, and they don't seem to get thrown around as much as your Gravediggers and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the premise, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
One sec, Cozy, my fucking yoke keeps bright. When the sun comes in, it goes brighter, and then I have to change the fucking yoke. Okay. Alright, grand. So then will we go, I think we should start with the underrated pint and then move on to the pub.
Okay.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to give your top 3 and I'll give my top 3, or do you want to go one at a time?
Yeah, I'll go my 3 and then you go your 3, then we can see how we're getting on.
So Cozy, your top 3 underrated pints. I presume we're going in Dublin, are we?
Oh, in Dublin, yeah. Yeah, we're going.
Yeah, top 3 underrated pints in Dublin. Go for it.
Yeah, okay. My first one is a little bit outside of Dublin, so we'll still count that, but I'll just get that out of the way. And that's the Cedar Lounge in Raheny. So we went out there with Shay and the boys.
Good shout.
And it's the one from the Snapper, the one that's in the Snapper. And didn't think much of it. A lot of people had said come to the Raheny Inn or whatever. We had a pint there, you had a pint there, and then we went to the Cedar Lounge, and the pint was excellent. So for me, that's definitely underrated. You never hear that pub mentioned, so that's number 1 for me. The second for me is the 51 on Haddington Rd. Again, not really mentioned amongst the good pints in Dublin, really. You know, it's not, you don't hear it in the conversation. We went in there, weren't expecting much. Big barman from Offaly who didn't really have a clue what we were doing, and pint was very good. Can't argue with it. And the third one, which I actually debated between putting this in my underrated pubs or in the underrated pint, but that was Foley's on Baggot Street. Quirky
Okay.
pub, has those weird decors on the wall, all that sort of stuff. But and when you go into places like that, you're thinking, okay, these guys aren't going to prioritise a pint here. They're
Yeah.
going to be, looking for a different audience. But the pint is solid. And, around it, you've got the iconic pubs. You've got Danny Nesbitt's, you've got O'Donoghue's, you've got Toners, all those around. But,
Yeah.
don't forget, whatever it's called, Foley's.
Foley's.
Decent point.
Yeah. Because we did that when I think I had probably, it was 12 pubs and I was probably, 8 or 9 pints deep.
Yeah.
So I'd say it wasn't as memorable just because I'd had so many pints. But no, great show. And I remember a really quirky little spot. Yeah, so Cedar's Lounge, great show. I did not think, I'm not really going to go on too much about my top 3 because right, I'll just go quickly, right? I had to name I named 2 pretty obvious ones just because I feel like they've been, especially my number 3, I think it's gotten a really bad rap, not bad rap, but left out a lot in the FM 104 thing and the Paddy Power thing. I could be wrong, but I didn't see Tom Kennedy's getting anywhere in either. I don't know I don't think it was even in the FM 104 poll. And then the Paddy Power one, I don't think it even got to the top 4. Or no, that was more about the pubs themselves, but the fact that it didn't get it wasn't even in the FM 104 top 32 pints of Guinness in Dublin. I have to give it a shout. I know we always talk about it, it's our second highest rated pint. I probably should have given it over 9 when we went. I've had pints there since and they're just unbelievable. Then I've got the Palace Bar, which again I don't see being thrown around a whole lot. Great location, great pint, really nice pub. And then my number 1 by far was the 51. I didn't think you'd remember it, Colsey. So we're on the same page anyway. 51. I think it was like an 8.3 I gave it, and we were going in there and we had heard all about Smyth's on Haddington Road, and then it was right across the road, and we never got a single recommendation for it, nothing like that. We just went in because it was on some of the 12 pub lists. But yeah, 51 Haddington Road, solid pint. Cedar's Lounge, great shout with Shay Ball. Shout out to you, Shay, if you're still watching. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. You're right in Tom Kennedy's. Like, that's a disgrace that it wasn't in some of the polls up there. But you do hear of it as a good pub for a pint. But I do agree with you. Maybe it should be talked in even higher esteem. And the Palace Bar as well. Great pub and great pint as well. So I think all of them, they're pretty solid, all 6. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, right. I'll go through my top 3 underrated pubs.
Okay.
Definitely going to be a bit of controversy in here, Cozy. But sure, we love a bit of controversy.
Yeah.
Stirring up the pot. Okay. I'll just go 3 to 1.
Okay.
Number 3. Because I was just going back through all the list of pubs and couldn't leave out the Snug. €3.70. €3.70, Cozy. Say what you want about the place, right? We went in, we had a great time. People say whatever about the clientele. If you're broke, you're going into the Snug for pints. €3.70. I gave it a 7.2. So if you put that equation together, that equals a good spot. Say what you want, right? That's number 3.
Right.
Number 2, I know we talk about it a lot. The old Royal Oak.
Yeah.
I think I gave it the pint was a solid 8.1, and the pub just very nice. Barman was sound, and definitely I know the Snug was huge, but for me the best Snug I've ever seen. It was board games, toaster, little oven. You could you could self-isolate in there, Cozy, if you wanted. Yeah. That's what you could do. So yeah, the old Royal Oak is in at number 2. I don't know if this should be number 1. This is a huge controversy, right? Number 1 underrated pub in Dublin, the Temple Bar. Because all it ever gets is shit. people say don't ever go to the listen, Cozy, right? Don't ever go to the Temple Bar. Don't ever go to the Temple Bar. If you're bringing someone over who's not Irish, and you've got a couple of hours in Dublin, and it's a fucking Wednesday at 2:00. There's only one place in all of Dublin that's you're guaranteed to go in, and it's going to be obviously it's going to be full of tourists, whatever, but it's guaranteed going to be live Irish music pumping. Pints are obviously expensive, but I gave it a 7.1, so they're not that bad. Again, you're gonna say I'm full of shit. It is controversial, but I just think it gets so much shit, and it's very easy as an Irish person, a big hard man drinker, to say, no, the fucking Temple Bar is shit. It's if you actually go in there, it's not actually shit in there. It's just because people are so against paying whatever €7 for a pint, which I totally understand, but I think there's too much. I think if people go there, it's alright. I think it's okay to bring someone there, basically. So that's me, Cozy. Say what you want.
I mean, you kind of explained yourself out of that a little bit. When you said it first, I was like, what are you talking about?
I know. And everyone's going to think I'm an absolute idiot, but it came to mind.
Yeah, but like, hang on a second. Would you ever go there if it was you and a few lads? I know you're saying if you were bringing someone over, etc., but...
No, but this thing, on 3 separate occasions, I've brought someone from outside of Ireland to there, and they've been blown away and loved it, and I had a great time there as well.
Yeah. I mean, it is guaranteed that there will be good music on, it will be busy.
Yeah. I probably should have put it... I think I have my list the wrong way.
I think you do.
I probably should have had the Royal Oak at number 1 and Temple Bar at number 3. But I didn't really do them 1 to 3. But yeah, we had to throw a bit of controversy in there, Cozy. So that's my list. What have you got?
That's going to spark off a bit of debate anyway. So on the 3, I know
they're going to want you for it. They're going to want you as the guru anyway. But sure, listen.
Yeah. So I didn't rank them 3 through 1 before we were doing this, but I'm going to do it now. And number 3 on my list is the Bankers Bar. Just off Dame Street there.
Okay.
Kind of nice little bar,
yeah.
Quirky little spot, nice and cozy. Just a nice place there you can go in for a nice pint. You know, it's beside Temple Bar where you've got your favourite pub, obviously, Temple Bar and stuff like that.
No, my favourite, my whole underage.
And, you know, I think it's just a little more traditional. It's nice and cozy. So that's for me, that's number 3. Number 2 is actually, you mentioned earlier, is actually Smyth's on Haddington Road. I'd never been there. I'd known about it, I'd heard about it, that it was just a pub that people go to, but really nice inside, has really nice snug, has that kind of old man feel to a traditional style. Very good point too. So that was second. And number 1 for me, which is what should be for you, is the Royal Oak. Again, I'd never been to it before, had heard about it, but I think when we spoke in the last video about those iconic pubs, you know, Gravediggers, Grove, and something different. There's something different about the Royal Oak. You know, it's on its own in Kilmainham, wherever it is. You come up to, we weren't even sure we were in the right place. And then again at night time, there's kind of light streaming across it. You go in and they have all these lights in the ceiling, and you know, nice cozy atmosphere, lovely snug, as you said. So for me, even though it is a highly rated pub amongst a lot of people, I think it should be even higher rated. So for me, number 1, the Royal Oak, underrated pub in Dublin.
Fair enough. Right, we'll agree number 1. I don't know if it's the Royal Oak or the Old Royal Oak, but we'll agree that's number 1. And then what you say, Smyth's and the Bankers. Yeah, Bankers is just a solid little bar. I think I was in there one other time. Small little bar, one of those compact with loads of memorabilia and stuff like that, which I know you like. And then Smyth's, does have a pretty decent name, but it is a serious spot and a serious pint. So yeah, can't argue. I just said I'd throw Temple Bar in just because didn't want a nice little safe list, and I don't know. Yeah, there's just something that I think everyone's automatic reaction, and people would probably think mine would be too, that was like, Temple Bar, are Are you fucking joking? I'm hard. I fucking only drink in old man pubs. It's too expensive. Yeah, it's ridiculously expensive. And yeah, it's full of tourists. But if you're in that position where you need to show someone, and it's not even like you can't say, oh, it's not real Ireland, because I get that, because it's full of tourists. But the guys, most of the people behind the bar are Irish. Most of the people playing the music, it's Irish music. So there's just a huge kind of hatred for it, and I just wanted to throw my oar in and say, I don't think it's that bad, and you can say what you want to that.
No, I think that's reasonable enough. You know, I just never have thought, but I can see where you're coming from. Like, a lot of people give out about Temple Bar, but it guarantees you what you go there for all the time. And
you don't go in there and like lads don't complain that it's not enjoy. Like, you don't go in there and be like, this is really shit. Like, you're in there and everyone who's watching this has been in there at one stage or another and has been up dancing to the music and all. It's an enjoyable place. It just is. People are just disgusted by how expensive it is, and I totally understand that. That's why I wouldn't go there for a load of pints. But I would just, that was just my 2 cents on the whole Temple Bar situation.
All right, lad. I think that's a decent list anyway, except for your shout, Temple Bar. But anyway, the rest are pretty good.
So we're saying most underrated pint in Dublin is the 51.
Yeah.
Or
I think the 51.
Did you have a number one?
I didn't rank them in my one, but I would have said it's probably number one.
The fact that we both said it, doesn't mean it's the best. It just means it's literally not talked about whatsoever. It's not in the conversation. The 51 for the most underrated pint, and then we'll both agree on the Old Royal Oak, probably by far for the most underrated pub. Again, it's not as if no one speaks about it, but just somewhere that everyone has to go for a few nice creamers. Alright, Cozy.
Alright, lad.
Few bloody creamers, mate. I wouldn't mind a few creamers right now in Temple Bar, right?
Yeah, alright, man.
Right,
take
Cozy.
it easy, stay safe.
Talk to you soon.